rule of 9. This is a topic that is being taught in nursing school, and it's a topic that you will see in your exams. Alright, so this is nursing with God's favor, and this topic is in every nursing school curriculum, so you should expect that you will see this or come across this in your exams or even after being a nurse. So this rule of 9 was founded or discovered by a man called Alexander. Wallace. Okay, so Alexander Wallace used this rule of 9 to say that every part of the body that is affected by burn is calculated as 9%. Alright, so let's have a quick definition or quick meaning of the rule of 9. What is it about? The definition of rule of 9. What did Wallace Alexander say about rule of 9? So rule of 9 is being used to calculate burn, affected area of the body that is, injured by burn. Burn can be chemical, it can be fire outbreak burn, it can be water, hot water burn. So this is used to calculate or estimate the total body surface affected by burn. So the body is divided anatomically into regions, and each region is termed 9%. So that's where the word 9 came from. Okay, so but when the whole body is affected by a burn, we can say a patient is having 100% burn. All right, apart from that, some parts of the body has its own unique percentage because of their surface or circumference, of the surface. It's small. For example, the genitals are termed 1%, and then the fingers to the palm, okay, the fingers this way when spread out to the palm is also 1%. Okay, so take note of that. So moving forward, let's say this is anterior part of the body, anterior, this is posterior. Okay, all right, so each part of the body has its own way of being calculated. So for example, the head, anterior part of the head only is 4.5%, and the posterior as well 4.5%. So meaning that the entire head, back and forth, anterior and posterior, is 9%. Okay, good. Then the chest area is divided into 2. So from the neck to the trunk area, each of them is 9%. Okay, back and forth 9%. Then from the trunk to the waist area to the hip bone, okay, is 9%. 9%. Then the hands, the anterior part of the hands, each hand is 4.5. Each hand 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. So this means that if the right hand, the anterior is 4.5, the right hand, the posterior is 5.5, it means that each hand, when burnt back and forth, is 9%. Okay? Then the legs. Each leg is 9%. Posteriorly, each leg is 9%. So this means that back and forth is 18. Okay, back and forth. If the whole leg, both posteriorly and anteriorly, is affected by burn, it is 18%. All right. So here, if you remember what I said earlier, the genitals is 1%. If only the genitals are affected, is 1%. If the genitals are affected and other body parts are affected, they will all be calculated, and the genitals will be given 1% when calculating that. So let's look and have some examples, some questions where rule of 9 is applied. So for the question, this can be your typical exam question. So here we have a patient was brought into the ER with the complaint of hot water burn. The face from the forehead to the navel was affected. The front part of the left hand and the palm of the right hand was also affected. So let's highlight what we are looking at. So here we have the burn affected the face, to the forehead, to the navel. So when we say navel, this can be called to the trunk. Okay. Then, not only that, it affected the front part of the left hand. So this can be called anterior. Okay. Anterior part of the left hand, and then the palm of the right hand. So we should calculate the rule of 9. So if you remember what we discussed before now, let me have a picture for easy calculation. Okay, so we said that the head itself anteriorly is 4.5, right? So if the head is affected up to the navel, and the trunk here is what? 9. So we are looking at 4.5 plus 9. Not only that, we also have okay, we have done this 4.5 plus 9. Then the front part of the left hand. The front part of the left hand is 4.5 also. So we have, to make it simpler, 9 plus 9. Okay. So 9 plus 9 plus the, what do you call it? The right hand, the palm of the right hand. If you remember what I explained during the definition of rule of 9, I told you that the palm of the hand to the fingers, when stretched out this way, is 1%. So we call it 1%. So 9 plus 9 is 18 plus 1, 19. So the answer to this question is 19%. And that's it for rule of 9. Thank you. This is Nursing with God's Favor.